Hello everyone, you are on the channel. It's funny to tears. Today we're diving into a story so wild, so full of twists and turns, you'll be checking your own ID by the end. This is the tale of the mistaken identity to end all mistaken identities. It all started on a perfectly normal Tuesday for a man named David. He was a quiet accountant, the kind of guy whose biggest thrill was finding a rounding error in a spreadsheet. He lived a simple life, a predictable life. Little did he know, his life was about to become anything but predictable. On the other side of town lived another man, also named David. But this David wasn't an accountant. Oh no, this David was an international spy. Or at least, that's what the very serious-looking people who bundled David the accountant into a black van thought. So there's David, our accountant, sitting in a dimly lit room, completely baffled. A stern-faced woman slides a photo across the table. It's him, but not him. This guy has a scar over his eye and is holding a briefcase that definitely doesn't contain tax returns. Where is the microfilm, Agent X? She demands. David just blinks. Microfilm? The only film I've seen recently is that new romantic comedy. It was surprisingly heartwarming. His interrogators were not amused. They thought it was a brilliant cover, the perfect act of an unassuming fool. The more he protested about his love for gardening and his cat Mittens, the more convinced they became that he was a master of deception. Meanwhile, David the spy is having a very different kind of day. He wakes up in our accountant's apartment. Instead of a high-tech spy gadget on his bedside table, there's a half-eaten bag of cheese puffs and a book titled Advanced Excel for Dummies. He looks in the mirror. No scar. He checks his pockets. Instead of a lockpicking set, he finds a coupon for 10% off cat food. He walks into the living room and is greeted by a very fluffy, very demanding cat named Mittens. The spy, a man who has disarmed bombs and outsmarted villains, is completely stumped by the complexities of opening a can of tuna-flavored cat food. Back in the interrogation room, David the accountant is trying to explain the concept of a 401k to a group of spies who are more familiar with untraceable offshore accounts. You see, he says, drawing a little pie chart on a napkin. You contribute a percentage of your pre-tax income, and your employer might even match it. It's a great way to save for retirement. One of the spies leans forward, intrigued. So, this employer match, is it a code for a double cross? David just sighs and shakes his head. No, it's just good financial planning. He was slowly, accidentally, giving the entire intelligence agency a crash course in personal finance. The spy, on the other hand, is trying to navigate David the accountant's life. He goes to David's office, expecting a secret lair. Instead, he finds a cubicle decorated with pictures of Mittens. His mission for the day? Reconcile the quarterly expense reports for a paperclip company. He stares at the screen, baffled. Debits, credits. What is this madness? He tries to use his spy skills. He attempts to hack the spreadsheet, looking for hidden messages. All he finds are formulas calculating office supply depreciation. He ends up just randomly typing numbers, hoping for the best. The next day, David's boss calls him a genius. Apparently, his random numbers had uncovered a massive accounting fraud, saving the company millions. The spy had accidentally become a hero of corporate finance. The two worlds were colliding in the most ridiculous ways. The spies shadowing David the spy reported back that Agent X was living deep undercover as a financial wizard, communicating in a complex code involving spreadsheets and paperclips. They were more convinced than ever. Meanwhile, David the accountant was trying to escape, but his attempts were comically inept. He tried to pick the lock on his door with a paperclip, but it just bent. He tried to create a diversion by starting a small fire in a wastebasket. But the room had a state-of-the-art sprinkler system that left him soaked and shivering. His captors saw this not as incompetence, but as a series of clever tests of their security systems. The climax came when both Davids ended up in the same place. The spy agency, following the trail of the financial genius, tracked their Agent X to the annual awards dinner for the paperclip company. At the same time, David the accountant, having finally convinced his captors that he might, just might be telling the truth, was brought to the same event to identify the real spy. So you have David the accountant, looking bewildered in a borrowed suit, and David the spy, awkwardly holding a trophy for most valuable accountant, on the same stage. They see each other across the room. Time slows down. They point at each other. "He's the one!" they both shout at the same time. The room goes silent. The spies, the accountants, everyone just stares. The head of the spy agency looks at the two Davids. One is holding a golden paperclip trophy, the other looks like he just survived a spin cycle. She looks at the picture of the spy with the scar. She looks back at the two men. Neither has a scar. It turns out the original photo was of a third David, a B-list actor who had once played a spy in a movie and was currently on vacation in Hawaii, completely unaware of the chaos he had caused. In the end, it was all a giant, hilarious mix-up. David the accountant went back to his quiet life, though now he had an incredible story to tell at parties. His cat Mittens was very happy to have him back. And David the spy? Well, he found he actually enjoyed the quiet life. He quit the spy business, took some accounting classes, and adopted a cat. The two Davids became friends, bonding over their shared bizarre experience. They even started a financial consulting firm together, specializing in clients who needed discreet services. And the spy agency? They had to rewrite their entire agent identification protocol. And thanks to David the accountant, they all had excellent retirement plans. So, what's the lesson here? Maybe it's that life can be stranger than fiction. Or maybe it's that you should always double check your photos before you kidnap someone. Or perhaps it's just a reminder that even in the most serious of situations, a little bit of humor and a whole lot of confusion can make for one heck of a story. I hope you found this as funny as we did. If you enjoyed this tale of mistaken identity, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to It's Funny to Tears, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next story. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.